One of the great things about baseball, a thing that still sets it apart slightly from other sports, is how often it presents you with things you've never seen before. This shouldn't be possible for the most mature of major professional sports, yet it is true on every imaginable level, from fine details like hitters' mannerisms and odd putouts, to large-scale events and tide-like changes in the style of the game. This is, of course, a prelude to a discussion of Shohei Ohtani, the 23-year-old phenomenon of the Nippon Fighters in Japan's Pacific League. In 2016, Ohtani, who was just 21 on opening day, was arguably both the top pitcher and the top hitter in the Pacific. This is, I think, a unique achievement in any credible professional baseball league since the Second World War. As a pitcher, Ohtani made 21 starts in 2016 and went 104 with a ludicrous ERA of 1.86. He struck out more than 11 batters for every 9 innings he pitched. As a batter, he had a slash line of .322416588, with 22 homers and only 323 at-bats. His on-base plus slugging ops figure, a good thumbnail indicator of offensive output, led his league. None of this is a matter of smoke and mirrors. In Japan's small ballparks, a beefy American who might otherwise have been exiled to softball will sometimes put up surprising offensive numbers. But Ohtani runs very fast, stands 64, and has a proper pitching repertoire, with a fastball that allegedly goes past 102 miles per hour. He was hampered by an ankle injury in 2017 and could only make 5 starts on the mound, but he hit about as well as in 2016. None of this is a matter of smoke and mirrors. If you are a close observer of baseball, you already have all this information. Ohtani announced his intention of coming to the North American big leagues after graduating high school in 2012, but he was drafted by the Fighters and persuaded that it would be more advantageous to start out in Japan. This has allowed him to be used both as a pitcher and a position player, and to establish an unprecedented resume doing both things, something long considered impossible in North American pro baseball. Now the Fighters have posted Ohtani's contract for sale to big league clubs. Because Ohtani is only 23, any team can buy him, but he will enter the majors facing the same personal compensation limits as other young entrants. The Nippon Ham Club will collect a $20 million fee for letting him go, but Ohtani's signing bonus is limited by the MLB collective bargaining agreement to under $4 million, and he will collect a relative pittance before becoming an unrestricted free agent after 6 years. By transferring from Japan so soon, Ohtani is giving up enormous amounts of money he might never get back. But he wants to compete with the best, and he has strengthened his bargaining position. The youngster has made it clear that he prefers to continue playing both ways in MLB. Like a U.S. college player entering the NHL after 4 years, Ohtani has a free choice of major league clubs, with salary no object. I do not think there is any major league team that is unwilling to put up the $20 million. The ordinary activity of baseball's off-season has crept along with unusual slowness while Ohtani talks to MLB front offices. He is in a position to ask for strong assurances of getting a fair chance to be both pitcher and hitter. This may encourage him to choose a weaker team, or just a more creative, adaptable one. Already, his list of suitors has mostly been narrowed to the West Coast, which would provide time zone and travel advantages for his audience of Japanese followers. Ohtani wants to compete with the best. The exciting part is that it is impossible to know exactly what to expect from Ohtani. On the whole, Japanese pitching statistics seem to translate to the big leagues more consistently than hitting stats. The best guess is that Ohtani would start out as a merely adequate big league hitter. Bidders are much more excited about that obscene fastball. There is no need to discount 102 miles per hour and transition from Japan to the USA, but 23 is young. Japanese starting pitchers do not work in the strict rotations that big leaguers do, so there is speculation that Ohtani's pitching workload might be limited to protect his arm. No one seems sure if he will be allowed to hit for himself in games where he works as a pitcher. In case you're wondering, American League teams are allowed to let a pitcher hit. The use of the designated hitter is always optional. Ohtani DH'd in Japan the last 2 seasons when not pitching, but played some right field before that. Some managers may be tempted to use that arm to kill base runners when it is not being used against batters. It is the binomial nature of Ohtani, if I can use a math term, that is so thrilling. There is some chance he succeeds as both a hitter and pitcher, establishing a historic new precedent. There is certainly a significant chance that he fails on both fronts, and returns to merely national stardom back home. But he has, in a sense, 2 chances to be amazing. Baseball fan or no, you have to pull for a fellow who has placed such a large bet on himself.